How are we going today, minasan? My name is Rakunx and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I've dug up some slightly new info that was previously deleted, as well as edited the screenshots and videos contrast to get some new info that's really going to help us confirm who this Blade Master really is. Thanks, Zelda. If you are new to the channel, you know what to do. If you do not want to miss out on future Bayonetta 3 theories coming up, we also have that special 90th episode coming soon, and I cannot wait to show you that. By the end of this video, you should be able to tie this mystery swordsman to the purple figure in the 2017 teaser. If you've seen the previous videos about the mystery swordsman, we came to the conclusions a Lumen Sage, Bayonetta variant, adult Loki, someone completely new, and our most likely one, Jeanne. So I asked a while ago if anyone could translate the written words on the sheath. Some people said woman, but Ophis and Namago_K, shout out to them, actually translated it to be Umbra. Some people have also tied it to the UMBRAN in Bayonetta 1. Namago has since deleted their tweet, but I was able to get it back, and it just made me wonder why they would get rid of it. Maybe there was a mistranslation or an error on their point, I don't know. But again, if anyone wants to confirm what was written on the Ophis charm, you are more than welcome to tell us in the comments below. So we have the green light on this person at least being affiliated with the Umbran witches. I'm not going to say that this person is straight away an Umbran witch, because their fashion is most definitely different to the classy get-up Umbran witches are so used to having. But I'm just going to tease the end of the video for you. I think there's still a chance, even if there is Umbra on the sword, that this person is not an Umbran witch. It's actually not built within the sword, but as an Ophis charm, which is essentially a piece of paper that you place in order to bless the place or object with protection, or even a spirit that delivers you away from harm. We'll get back to that in a sec. Again, I still think it's either our Jeanne that we know and love, or a Jeanne variant of the second timeline the little one is residing in. So I'm gonna put 70% of my chips down for Jeanne. The other 30% is wishful thinking, but I still think it would be such a cool plot point. Riicemochii was kind enough to have drawn this figure as Jeanne in her new getup, so a big shout out to her. I also wanted to talk about the new things I found as I edited her contrast in her photos and videos, and of course our mod Filius was able to get this super accurate silhouette match in her tweet. She has amazing memory, even the cheekbones match, so again shout out to her. So here is where the other 30% of my chips will be. I'm sure a lot of you are not gonna like this, but it's worth putting it out there. In the previous video we talked about the animal print on the sword, their purple strands of hair, the new Cheshire doll, and the golden dragon pattern, which alluded to the fact that this person is affiliated with the MILFs, the mysterious life forms. Allegedly. But as you can see in this edit, a few more things popped up. You have their belt filled with what I think are grenades, kind of like Bakugo's belt. Their personas and getups are actually quite similar, so it's safe to say that this archetype, from what we can see, is that juvenile underground assassin type of vibe. Like with bikies, they seem to have heavy duty gloves, and now what I think is a black jacket instead of a perceived red one. They have two piercings on their left ear from what I can see, and not in their right ear, possibly showing their allegiance to the left eye of darkness, maybe, or a design choice. I'm happy with any. Going back to the charms, we have Magatama's set in Shibuya and now Ofuda. So we semi-predicted the Japanese setting a year ago, but the Ofuda stuck on the sheath makes me think that this person is not an Umbran witch and has just been on the hunt for CEREZA variants. They potentially use this charm to ward off or perhaps weaken those CEREZA variants they are hunting, or Umbran witches. Making Umbra hidden in the design for people to find in this trailer kind of makes me think that they want us to believe that this is an Umbran witch. So I'm gonna go the other way and say, what if this is not an Umbran witch? Now, the reason why I think they would be hunting CEREZAs is because we have to remember CEREZA was the forbidden child who awakened the prophecy of the second Armageddon, basically. So getting rid of them from the multiverse would be logical. The possibility of the multiverse is likely because you also have the Mother Maiden crone motif in the logo that we said a month ago in our first trailer breakdown videos. This is where our Bayonetta and Jeanne, the ones that we've been using throughout Bayonetta 1 and 2, will step in to save brave CEREZA from these hunters. Check out the previous video if you want to see how I think they would introduce our Bayonetta into saving brave CEREZA. It's actually quite funny with the Lappy costume and whatnot. So I remember when I first saw this person, I immediately thought of Jeanne. But let's play Shiba's advocate over here. I was playing with the lighting and contrast and found out the jacket had at least tints of blue and dark purple on it. So it could be a hint to the correlation with the purple figure that we saw in the first teaser. They have the same slicing style and have the blood moon illusion that we see in both of their showcases. Again, I still think it's variant Jeanne of the second timeline that we made, but I had this thought of Eggman, which I'm putting my remaining 30% on. I came to this conclusion because of the Umbran Ophis charm and the Shiba's advocate that I'm playing here. The juvenile getup and the purple tinted jacket, the heavy duty gloves, the lack of glasses that Jeanne usually holds, and the grenade belt. I'll explain each reason here. The Umbran Ophis charm could be because Eggman has a history with fighting our Bayonetta, and if he's escaped Inferno like how we theorized in our Potassium Butcher Theory a year ago, he's come prepared. He could have had a contract or deal with the final antagonist of Bayonetta 3, whoever that may be, as in, I'll resurrect you, but you have to find and get rid of this CEREZA for me. And that antagonist is putting a bounty and referring to our Bayonetta that we know and love, since that is the one who is going to stop the second Armageddon, or is going to help stop the second Armageddon from happening. The outfit, the grenades, the heavy-duty gloves, they scream underground ruthless assassin, and that correlates to what Radahn and Bayonetta were saying, that not even Inferno would want him since he's that ruthless. I always imagined Eggman to have a burnt or injured face, which would be a cool twist if they reveal this person to have burns too, since they didn't really show that in the trailer. Now, why would Eggman have a version of CHESHIRE? Well, that comes back to his hunt for CEREZA variants. Just like how we theorized Cult Obsidian having a Captain Marvel spoil and how we thought he fought Captain Marvel and survived, and this was the item he picked up, kind of like dog tags in Warfare. I also have to add that the sword doesn't really remind me of Angel Slayer like what some people are saying. Angel Slayer is more sleek, while this one is bulkier, which is why I called it a Mao Dao rather than a Japanese katana in the previous video. The red pattern that attaches CHESHIRE to the sword reminds me of the mystic red knot popular in Eastern culture, or more specifically, feng shui. There are so many interpretations for these, one of them being protection, life, and vitality. They are also believed to drive away anxiety and anger, bringing tranquility to the mind. Why would this swordsman, regardless if it was Eggman or variant Jeanne, whoever it is, why would they have these charms? It depends on who you think it is. Again, for Eggman, it'd have to be his superstitious preparation against CEREZAs or Bayonettas, since he knows how strong they really are, or could be. Or he has already killed some CEREZAs and has taken some spoils from his hunts. If we were to interpret this as a Jeanne variant, I think the best one would be a memento of some sorts with Brave CEREZA, because I think if this really is Jeanne of the second timeline, she would have left right after the witch hunt of that timeline we saw. Remember that witch hunt playthrough, literally the first chapter that you could play in Bayonetta 1. That's the second Brave timeline that we are talking about. Jeanne left after that for some unknown reason, this is just speculation of course, and Brave CEREZA potentially gave this charm to her to remember her by. We spoke about this in our first Swordsman video. Realistically, I feel it's a Jeanne variant of the second timeline or someone new, but wishful thinking and optimistically thinking for me, I personally think Eggman the Destroyer would fit what we've dug up so far. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss that 90th episode special. Click here for my next video or binge our Bayonetta 3 playlist. Stay safe, Minasan, I'm Rakunx, and never get disheartened.